National Broadcasting System presents The Casebook of Gregory Hood, starring Elliott Lewis. Well, it's that time again. Time to join Gregory Hood and his friend and attorney, Sanderson Taylor, for another story from Greg's casebook. Greg and his most serious heart interest, Barbara Gaines, have been to the theater and are now at the world-famous Peacock Court and Hotel Mark Hopkins in San Francisco for an after-theater snack. Sandy has met them there, and everybody is in gay good humor. The show was good, and the after-theater crowd is colorful. Greg is regaling his party with his way of cooking a steak.
Now, believe me, it's the only civilized way to broil a steak.
What kind of a steak?
Oh, any kind of steak, Barbara.
Now, the way Mary broils a steak...
All that Mary's glad Sandy doesn't think he can cook makes it very simple for her. If I ever have to cook for Greg, he'll probably give me an inferiority complex.
Oh, yes, he's made a lifetime...
Well, are you going to listen to me? Believe me, I'm just trying to be helpful. Now, if I can go on without interruptions. The way to broil a steak is... you get the steaks first.
That's important, all right. A few months ago, you...
private discussion, or can I break in?
Oh, hello, Tom. You all know Tom Terrell, don't you?
Yeah.
Good man to know. Writes radio column.
Well, sure. Now, hi, Tom.
I've never met Mr. Terrell.
Oh, Tom, this is Barbara Gaines, the young lady whom Sandy and Mary are trying to get interested in me.
Good to know you, Miss Gaines.
Do you want to know the only civilized way to broil a steak?
Sounds interesting.
Well, have a seat, Tom. Thank you. Next to Barbara there, so I can keep my eye on it. Now, got your pencils ready?
That's it.
You get a steak.
I see.
And you buy some salt. Any kind of salt.
Any kind of salt.
Lots of it. Dime's worth, maybe.
Oh, this is going to be one of those expensive recipes.
Now, no more interruptions or I give up trying to teach. Now, you put the salt in a bowl of water. Not much water because you have to make a paste of the salt.
Oh, paste.
You know, about the consistency of plaster. Then you put a layer about a half-inch thick on the steak. Layer this salt. See?
Yeah, I see. Yes, I see. But I don't like. It's too salty.
Well, you haven't even tasted it yet. You put the steak in a broiler, not over an inch from the flame, salt side up, and broil it the usual length of time. Then you take it out. Salt the other side a half-inch thick, and repeat the process. Then you take a hammer and knock the salt crust off and put pepper and butter on it, and you can cut the steak with an old tennis shoe. That's delicious.
Well, that sounds like a lot of trouble. Nobody ever complains about the steaks I broil, the easy way.
No, but Barbara, this way all the bouquet is sealed in. All the juices. Gee, I'm hungry. We'll just try it sometime.
Look, I got a better idea. Huh? We'll all go up to Greg's for dinner next Sunday, and he can demonstrate. Now, what do you think, Sandy?
That's an excellent idea. We'll sit at the feet of the master and watch him demonstrate his teaching.
Good, it's a deal. Sunday it is. Come over about 5.
Oh, just my luck I can't be there. I'll be in New York, and that reminds me I'd better be getting home, Greg. Remember, I have a plane to catch in the morning.
It's early yet, Miss Gaines.
Of course it is. Oh, what's more important, the New York Dress Institute's fashion show or my peace of mind?
The New York Dress Institute fashion show.
Right. Give that lady 12 silver.
Idiot. I really have to go, Greg. Why don't the rest of you wait here? Greg can walk me home. It's only about 2 blocks, and come back.
Well, that's a great idea. You entertain Sandy, Tom.
Okay.
And you entertain Tom, Sandy.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be back in a few minutes with more recipes and household hints. Order another bottle of Mum's Cordon Rouge. I'll be right back. Come on, Barbara. Hi, Greg. Barbara. Hello, Cedric.
Hi, Mr. Todd.
Always with a good-looking girl.
Oh, he's married now. That's his new wife.
Leaving early, Mr. Hood?
Oh, just for a minute, Fred.
Good evening, Mr. Hood. Your hat?
No, thanks, Helen. I'll be right back.
Good evening, Mr. Hood. Your car?
No, thanks, Bob. I'm going to walk. Oh, nice. How long are you going to be gone, Barbara?
Why, are you going to miss me?
Well, I don't know yet. But just in case I do.
Oh, my impetuous cavalier. Just for that, I won't tell you.
All right, then. It's your own fault if I'm madly in love with someone else when you get back.
Right.
I was sort of planning on saving myself for you, but...
I'll be gone about 2 weeks. Think you can find a substitute for that length of time?
Of course. If I warn them that it's only temporary employment, I
I'm going to miss you. You know, you're sort of habit-forming, Greg.
Stay here.
No! Greg, that man. He threw the gun into those bushes.
Yeah, I'm going after him.
No, Greg, don't be a fool.
There's a girl in that car. Look, she's running up the alley. You stay here, Barbara.
I can't run any farther in these high heels, Greg. Don't try to catch him, Greg.
Oh, the devil. I couldn't even get the license number. Barbara, I couldn't... Barbara? Barbara, where are you?
Wait a minute, you. Come here and keep your hands away from your
Sure,
pockets.
look, just see a girl about 5'3" wearing a beaver coat.
Wasn't looking for one. Stand right where you are. Got you covered.
I'm not going anyplace, officer.
Uh-huh. Guy in his car's cold meat.
Yeah?
Close range to the right temple. What do you know about it, you?
I was chasing the man who did it. He fell down and I almost caught him. My girl and I were walking up Nob Hill and we saw the car pull up here and a man jump out of the bushes. He stuck his hand in the car. We heard a shot.
Yeah? Where was the girl who was with you?
Well, I don't know. I left her here. I have to find her. Oh, the killer threw the gun in that garden there.
Yeah, we'll find her. Get in the car.
Look, officer, I'm Gregory Hood.
I don't care if you're Little Red Riding Hood. Come on, we're going to find that gun. You walk ahead of me there.
Look, I'm trying to tell you that a girl's been kidnapped.
Okay. Come on. The sooner we find this gun, the sooner you'll be telling your story to the lieutenant. Come on now.
Oh, brother.
Okay, now. Where do you think the gun would have landed?
Let me see. Throw the light over here in this corner of the garden.
All right. Now, wait a minute. Don't be dashing away like that.
Here it is, the gun. Now let's get down to headquarters.
I'll pick it up. Fingerprints, you know. Okay, now, Little Red Riding Hood. Let's take a ride.
Well, Greg, after all, the officer was only doing
I know it,
duty.
Stan.
And
I'm
when
just
you-
glad you were the lieutenant in charge of homicide when I was dragged in here.
Got an identification on the murdered man, Lieutenant Silvers. His name was Bill Lattimore.
Good.
He was a gambler and was a no good. Mixed up in the Danny McGuire killing a few months ago. His gun is a Luger. Number filed off, untraceable.
Thank you, Sergeant. Stay on it. Find out who Lattimore's associates were and keep me in touch.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so help me, Greg. You ought to murder what honey is to a
Look,
bear.
Sam, will you put out an alarm for Barbara? She never did arrive at her apartment. She didn't go back to the Mark Hopkins.
I've got a pickup out on her now, Greg. Every prowl car and every officer on duty has her description. That's all I can do. I know this Lattimore by reputation. He's a big operator. And that killing was a professional job. And professionals don't like to have people watching them at their work.
I'm going to get out of here.
Now, wait a minute, Greg. Let the police handle this.
I got
thing.
Barbara into this, and I'm at least going to make an attempt to get her out.
You're lucky to be out of it yourself, Greg. Stay out. We'll get the girl back for you. Look, this is no society crime. These men are professional criminals. Leave them to the
I
police.
can't just
will
sit
you?
around and pray, Stan. I've got to do something. I'll call you if I turn anything up from my connection. Okay, Kelly. You owe me a few favors. Now I want some information.
Sure, Greg, within reason.
You're not too far from the underworld to know what's going on in it. Bill Lattimore was murdered tonight. A professional job. Who had it in for him?
I didn't tell you, but there's a low rumble around town that Lattimore welched on a 20 grand lose on George Ulrich's book.
Oh?
Yeah, that might have had something to do with the kill.
Yeah. What do I find, Ulrich?
You don't, if you're smart.
I'm not smart. Where is he about now?
At his club sedan upstairs in the gambling rooms. He'll be there all right. And, look, Greg, when he puts the heat on you, I didn't tell you nothing. You understand? I don't want no trouble with Ulrich's torpedoes. They're tough.
I'll forget you. Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, you're welcome for nothing. Better stay out of it, Greg.
Thanks, Kelly, but I got a special reason for talking to Ulrich right away. See you later, I hope.
You want to buy some chips?
I'm looking for George Ulrich. Can you tell me where I'll find him?
Lefty. Mr. Fisk.
Yeah. Yeah, Rose.
This gentleman is looking for George.
Yeah? Thanks, Rose. All right, goodbye.
I want to talk to George Ulrich. It's important.
What do you want to talk to him about?
It's private.
If it's credit, I can handle it. Is that what you want?
No. I want to talk to Ulrich on private business.
Look, you might as well face it, mister. You ain't going to talk with George until I know what it's about. Now, what's your name?
Hood, Gregory Hood.
Hood, huh? Sure, I thought I recognized you from your pictures in the paper on the society page. My name's Lefty Fisk. Now, Mr. Hood, what did you want to see George about? Your credit's good.
I want to talk with him about a murder, Mr. Fisk.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he'd be interested, but I'll ask him. Come on.
All right.
You wait here.
All right.
Hi, Greg. What are you doing here? You trying to get rid of one of your millions?
Huh? Oh, maybe. Can I go any place without seeing you?
Not tonight, you can't.
Okay, come in, Hood.
Sure.
Ah, you want to see me, Hood?
Yeah, if you're George Ulrich.
I am. This is my attorney, Channing Pierce.
We met, Hood, here and there.
Yeah. How are you, Pierce?
Here, have a chair. Take the big one over there.
Mm-hmm.
Fix Mr. Hood a drink, Lefty.
What'll you have?
Well, as long as that champagne is open, I'd like to join in on whatever's being celebrated.
No celebration. Just my favorite drink, that's all.
Here you are.
Oh, thank you, Lefty.
Now, Mr. Hood, what's on your mind?
A man called Lattimore. Bill Lattimore. He was murdered tonight.
Bill Lattimore bumped? Huh. Well.
Big surprise to you?
Well, yes. Yes and no. He was a cinch to get the business sooner or later.
Yeah, Bill was a good guy, George.
Yeah. I didn't have anything against him, except that he was a welcher.
His death cost you some money, didn't it, Ulrich?
Oh, little. He was into me for 20 grand. That's a tough break. Look, Hood, you must have a reason for coming here to break the news of Bill Lattimore's death. Now, what is it?
I saw the murder committed.
You did? Where did it happen?
In front of the Nob Hill apartment house where Bill Lattimore lived. I was walking up the hill from the marked Hopkins. There was a girl with me. I chased the gunman, but he got to his car and escaped. When I got back to the place where I left the girl, she was gone. She never did get home. Never did get any place where she should be. Do you know what happened to her, Ulrich?
Why should I? Hey, what are you talking about, Hood?
That was a kind of a strange remark, Hood. Why should you ask George what he knows about the murder?
Look, I'm not looking for any trouble. I know that Bill Lattimore welched on a $20,000 gambling debt to you, Ulrich. I know that the wise boys in this town thought maybe you'd be gunning for him. I know he's dead, murdered. I just added 2 and 2. If you know where Barbara is, I want to make a bargain with you, and you can name your own deal.
You must be out of your mind, Hood. I don't know anything about your girlfriend. I don't know anything about the murder. I've got my alibis right here with me. Channing Pierce and Lefty Fisk. We've been together all night.
And I'll swear to that in any court.
All right.
I know you're quite a boy as an amateur detective, Hood, but you're out of your weight now. I don't like to have fresh punks accuse me of murder.
Even if you were guilty, you'd have an alibi. I'm not going to interest myself in who killed Bill Lattimore. Whoever did it was doing the decent people a favor anyway. All I want to know is what happened to Barbara Gaines. I'll pay $10,000 to find out. Cash, tonight.
Oh, 10 grand. Well, that's a lot of dough.
I can have it whenever you want it. The minute you deliver Barbara Gaines to me.
No, I can't do it, Hood.
You know where she is, and you're going to tell me.
Take him, Lefty. Let go of me, Hood. Lefty.
Come on, Buck. All right, come on, let go. Let go or I'll crack this arm for you.
All right.
Well, I don't like to be pushed around like that, Hood. I don't like it at all. Snap that arm for him, Lefty. Give him something to remember me by.
George, be smart, George. Cut it
Stay
out.
out of this. This boy scout came in here looking for trouble. I'm going to see that he gets it. That's for nothing.
Hello, Lieutenant Silvers. Welcome, and believe me, I mean it.
Hello, Greg. Well, George, what's going on here?
Well, Hood came in here with blood in his eye and started making a bunch of cracks he couldn't back up. And, well, you know, we had to subdue him. Skip it, Lefty. Let him go.
Oh, thanks. Glad to get that arm back. Whole. You couldn't have picked a better time to arrive, Stan.
Yeah, well, the trails seem to lead here. All right, sit down, all of you. You too, Greg. Now, let's start at the beginning. What's it all about? You talk, Pierce. What happened here?
Well, George and I have been playing gin rummy all evening. Lefty has been with us here.
Your friend Hood came in and accused George of killing a gambler named Latimore. And when George told him he didn't know anything about the crime, Hood lost his head and jumped him. Lefty pulled him off. That's all there is to it.
What are you doing here, Copper? You weren't invited.
I came up to ask you a few questions about Lattimore, George. I understand he owed you 20 grand, that he was running out on you. Some of the boys even tell me you promised Lattimore if he didn't pay up by midnight last night, you were going to kill him.
Oh, that's talk. You've got to have more than that to get an indictment for murder, Silvers. He knows where Barbara is, Stan. He practically admitted it.
That's a deliberate lie. I listened to every word spoken between these two, and George never insinuated he knew the whereabouts of the girl Hood says is missing.
You've been with these two, George Ulrich and Lefty Fisk, all evening, Pierce?
Yes. They couldn't possibly have committed the murder. I'll testify to that.
Okay. Then there's no use in wasting any more time. Come on, Greg, let's get out of here. I'm going to take you home and see that you're locked in. Keep you out of trouble.
I know it was a simple thing for me to do, Stan, but I'm as sure that George Ulrich promoted that killing as I am that he has Barbara someplace.
You're probably right, Greg. But until we get some proof, we just have to stand pat. This is one of those cases where the cops always win, but, well, we have to wait for the break. We're dealing with smart, experienced
Wait
crooks.
for the breaks. What about Barbara? What's she going to be doing while we're waiting for the break?
All right, take it easy, Greg. Take it easy. I've got a tail on all three of those boys, George and Lefty and that smart mouthpiece of his. They'll slip. When they do, we'll grab them.
Yeah.
All right, now you go up to your apartment and stay out of trouble. This case is not for you, Greg. We don't want any more killing. I'd sort of miss you.
Stan?
Yeah?
Call me if anything breaks, will you?
Sure. Good night.
Hey, Greg, where in the world have you been?
Around. What are you doing here in my apartment, Stanley?
Oh, gee, I was worried about you. After you called to see if Barbara had returned to our table at the market, I tried to reach you both. She's never answered her phone.
How long have you been here?
Oh, about 5 minutes. Well, what happened, Greg? You look like a wild man.
Barbara's missing, Sandy. She's...
Well, Barbara's missing.
I'll get it. Hello.
Greg, this is Barbara.
Barbara.
Come to 1435 Shoreham in the Seacliff district right away. Please hurry.
Barbara, you all right?
Yes, please hurry, Greg.
Shall I call the police?
No, come alone. Please hurry. That's all, Greg.
All right.
Barbara, where is she, Greg?
Out in Seacliff District.
How's she being held? I mean, was she kidnapped?
I don't know. I've got to get out to her right away.
Yeah, I better go with you, Greg.
No, she said to come alone. Stay here, Sandy. If you don't hear from me in a half hour, bring the police to 1435 Shoreham.
Yeah, 1435.
Yeah, that's where Barbara called from.